Hello, it's Yvonne here, or Ivy, and love, a feeling, a command, or a choice. We're talking about love today. This is one topic that many people have many views, many opinions about it, and I am just going to give you my take on what love is. Now, like I said, I'm passionate about the family, so I will kind of be linking this into the family unit as well. Also, if I find I've got a lot of content about this written down here, if I find that this video gets a bit too long, then I will kind of stop it and do it into part one and part two. So, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for those of you who've been viewing the videos, and I hope you've taken out something away from it. Please do not forget to subscribe and click on the little bell next to the subscribe button as well, so that when a new video comes up, you are notified of this. So let's delve into it. Love. How to love. Now, I believe many people struggle. Many of the struggles that we face on a day-to-day basis in life is because we don't know how to love. We don't even know what love is. Some people say it's a feeling. Some people say it's a choice. Some people say it's a command from God. So I am going to give you my take on what I believe love is today. Nobody actually sits us down. When we grow up, when we were growing up, at least when I was growing up, no one sat me down to tell me what love is, or what love is all about, or how to love at the first in the first instance. All that I knew about love before I started learning about this topic, all that I knew about love was what I gleaned from examples that I saw from my parents, from other adults, from other people, from friends, even from classmates. You know, there's a lot that children learn about love from their peers as well. So there are several things that we need to, several facets to this word love. Different people have different views on it. But this first part of the video, I am going to talk about it in terms of what hampers us from loving, or what hampers our ability to love. Even before I delve into what love actually is, maybe from this first part, I know I should have done what love is and then what hampers us, but I'm going to do it the other way around. So, what hampers our ability to love? I believe it is the absence of an authentic role model around us as we grow up. And this authentic role model can be in the form of a parent, it can be in the form of an older sibling, it can be in the form of maybe an uncle, at least from an African perspective. From in African families, they are quite huge. I know that I grew up with my cousins, with my uncles, and they were part of our smaller family. So the family unit in Africa is a lot larger. So in this respect, I am going to be focusing a little bit on the male role models in the lives of children as they grow up. So I am focusing on the daddies, focusing on you today. So and the absence of a positive and authentic male role model in the life of growing children can hamper, can deter, can kind of hamper their ability to love. And when I was researching this topic, I came across R.C. Blakes. He is on YouTube. He is a pastor, he's a minister in the US. I hope that I can meet him one day. He is very inspirational, an inspirational man of God. And I came across this word, the father wound. He talks a lot about the father wound. And I thought in my mind, I was thinking a positive role male model. But here we go, the father wound. So, in the absence of the father in a home, or in the absence of a positive, authentic role model who is a male in a home, it creates a void in the soul left by the physical and emotional absence of that father. So there is an emotional support, there's emotional support that the father or the positive role model gives to the child. There is also a physical aspect to this. For example, when my husband comes back from work, my daughter runs up to him straight away, gives him a hug, he throws him up in the air. How was your day? That physical contact, that response, that conversation that they have, that moment, it could take about 2, 3, 4 minutes. All my children go up to him and say, hello daddy, welcome home, how was your day? And they have that conversation, they have that exchange. It is really, really key. So if that role model is not present, that male role model, it creates a distorted concept of love in the child. And I know that we usually think mothers nurture, but fathers, you have a role as well to play in the development of your children. It creates a distorted concept of love, and it makes it such that the child grows up not knowing what love feels like, not knowing how love behaves like, not knowing what it looks like, how to receive it, how to give it, because of that misconception that there is that the children may have had as to how or what love is. It makes them not to know what exactly love is. So without a role model, a male role model, you learn from the most dominant influences in your life. The children learn from the most dominant influences in their lives. And we know what peer pressure can do to a child. There are many children that I know of who first had a sexual experience, or who learned about love from locker rooms, changing rooms in school. Like when children go into change to sport, into their sportswear. And obviously, if that child had a dominant role model at home, then that child will not learn from his peers. Obviously, the child can hear things from their peers, but if they have that dominant role model, male role model, they can come back and have conversations about it. So, I know that when I was growing up, I did not get taught how to love. All I knew was what I saw my mom and dad do. And bless them, they did an awesome job at raising us. I never for once saw my dad lay hands on my mom. For the 14 years that I knew my dad, all of them, I never saw it once. Also, I never heard him talk down at my mom. I never heard him curse. I never heard him use derogatory words towards my mom. And therefore, I grew up knowing that a man should respect a woman. And I know that there's a lot out there about women respecting men and all of that. But a man should treat a woman with respect and dignity. Unfortunately, when I turned 14, my dad sadly passed away. And, one of the changes that have been occurring in my life recently is because of that. I could not grieve. I did not grieve because I was only little. I was young then. I did not understand. I knew that I was not going to see dad again, but I did not really understand what that meant in terms of my growing up. So from the age of 14 right up to the age of 20, I kind of just secluded myself from any relationships. And I know that obviously that was a way for me protecting myself, because at the time I knew that love meant when you are in love with someone, that means you have to indulge in sex, and that means maybe unwanted STIs, unwanted pregnancies. And I did not want to go through. I knew that there was more to love than sex. And so to avoid having to go through all of that and try to change people's mentality about it, I just stayed to myself. So I got to the age of 20 and I started going into relationships, and that was when it snowballed. But what I am trying to say, the message I'm trying to pass across here is that fathers, you have a really, really key role to play in the lives of your children when it comes to understanding what love is. So, I am going to look at a few things that can happen in the absence of that father role model. So, in a situation wherein the father is absent or that male role model is absent, what does it do? I'm going to look at what it does to the male child and what it does to the female child. So, to the male child, it makes boys become afraid to give love because they think being a man is being hard, is being vulgar, is being macho, is being unemotional, and you can name it. It makes boys afraid to give and to receive love because he thinks love speaks of weakness. Fathers, it is all right to be in touch with your emotional side. Show your children that you care. Show your partner that you care. Because they think giving love is soft. And to the girls, what is the impact on girls? The girls become desperate to receive love. And I know that there was a time in my life that I was desperate to receive love. And when I talk of love, it wasn't just some washy-feely type thing. I became desperate to receive authentic love. Because for a girl, love means being affirmed. Love means being affirmed, which leads to high standards. I know that, for example, my daughter, when my husband tells her that she is gorgeous, oh, you need to see the smile on her face. She knows that she needs to be respected because she is gorgeous. She knows that she needs to be respected. She needs to be talked to with affirmations, with respect, because she is a gorgeous girl. It leads to a lack of high moral standards. She starts to search for affirmations that daddy should have given her in places where she has no business looking in. So dads, please understand your role in the lives of your children. The boys would go to any depths to avoid giving love or receiving love because they feel giving love is being vulnerable, and vulnerability means they are weak. Most men view vulnerability as being anti-manhood, which leads to losing one great woman after the other. But vulnerability is actually being strong because you put yourself out there for someone to love. You put yourself out there to love someone, knowing that there are risks. To the girl, she will chase behind any semblance of affection or attention and will name it love. She will call abuse love because it gives her attention. She will call destructive attention love. She will accept even men from the pits of hell and call it attention. Rather than to have no attention, she would rather have that attention, that negative attention, from men she has no business with. All because she did not get attention from daddy. All because she did not get affirmation from daddy. It makes the boys to believe that love is taking, having, grasping. I'm going to take as much as I can. I am going to have as much as I can. I am going to give you the responsibility to look after me. So it is your job to make me feel happy. To the girl, she believes that love is giving excessively. She believes that love is giving more than one should to people who do not even deserve it, to people who have not proven to deserve it. And all of this leads to children growing up, hiding away, not being able to express love, because eventually it will lead to the child thinking, or to the children thinking, that love is sex. But it isn't. Love is not. In the second video after this one, or if this one doesn't take too long, it's already 15 minutes. It may be longer than. So, in the second video, we are going to delve and explain what love is and how to build loving relationships. What then should fathers do to support their children growing in a loving manner? Fathers need to show love openly. Fathers, please show love to your children openly, especially through affirmations, through hugs, through kisses. I work with children at the moment. I work with young people. And there are some young people who go through life without one hug from a parent, or without one hug from a responsible role model of an adult. What void that can create in the life of that child. Understand your role as parents, fathers. I know parenting is a hard task. It is a hard job. You train on the job. At your job, you do professional development. You attend workshops. You attend meetings to develop your career. Why not do that for raising your children as well? Parenting needs you to constantly develop your skill, which means you can search on YouTube, you can watch videos, you can read books. However, you need to adapt them to your own family dynamics. So professional development in raising children is also key. Seek to develop how to support and raise your children if you are struggling. And even if you aren't, there's nothing wrong with learning a new skill and implementing it in your home. So you see, you cannot give what you do not have. Because if you seek to develop your own skills, then you can give that knowledge, you can pass on that knowledge to your children. I'm going to end this video here so that I can start the second one, part 2 of this. Part 2 is going to look at how to develop healthy, loving relationships. What are the things that we need to do in order to develop healthy, loving relationships, and what love is. Thank you for watching this part. See you in part 2.